Hey, good morning, Patriots. It's another day. We're in June, and it's good. It's been a good June so far, but it's only 3 days in, so who knows, right? So, another guy who's in June with me is Chris Cordani. Good morning, Chris. Is it
Hey,
is it
good
June where
morning.
you're at, or are you in
Eh,
another month?
I'm hoping to keep it. Let's put it this way. I'm glad May's over because of all the rain. It was like in April, so it's been a weird year as far as weather is concerned. But I'm not going with the man-made climate change thing. I'm just going with natural weather issues. So that happens.
Yeah, I know. So, are you saying that you're having a blizzard today? Is that what you're trying to tell us? That you're in the middle of a snowstorm?
No, but I will have one later when I hit Dairy Queen. So perhaps I'll do that.
That's those are too damn expensive. I look. Those are good, but my God, did you know if you take the money you would spend on a blizzard, you could buy like two full containers of Tillamook? Did you know that? I mean, it's like
Yep.
it's
That's why I'm having a
really
little water right
expensive.
now.
Yeah,
I think it's
is
like
that
going to
is that Dairy
Starbucks.
Queen water?
Yeah, no, it's just my water. But it's like going to
Oh, okay,
Starbucks
all
for
right,
coffee. That stuff's expensive. Well, think about this. You can
yeah,
I could buy new equipment with what it would spend on coffee. I just make my own coffee. I'm happy with it. If I go somewhere, I go independent. Yeah,
that's
it's a
right.
little pricey sometimes, but I like
You
if
could
I'm gonna
buy
spend money
you could
somewhere as
buy
the
a
independent
79
guy.
Pinto for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. That's right. So
A pinto bean. Well, there we go. My color's not straight. How about that? This is what happens when I wake up in the morning and I just do all the do some prep and then figure out. Wait a minute, I have to get dressed.
I've been up hours at this point. No, I had to get up early, and I've been cleaning house. I've been working on the pool. I've been. What else did I do this morning? I even got my workout in. I got to do my workout. I got my weights over there, just over the other side there, that I got to get to, and then I did Newsmax. Did first edition. I got to do National Report right after we're done here, so it's busy. But
Yeah,
I
busy here.
digress.
Well, busy here. I was doing Jerry's show, Dr. Corsi's show. We have prep
Yeah,
for the morning, both shows and everything. And
yeah.
I did some editing this morning. And yes, again I had to find some time to get dressed. For some reason, this shirt is just really driving me nuts. But I'll get to that. Not a worry here. But I did get the cool Jerry Lee Lewis jacket on.
Did you really? Did you have great balls of fire? Is that what you're telling us?
I think so. But I could play the piano, so it's okay. I can play that song, and I look cool doing it. I should have put the bolo tie on. That's what I needed. The
But not,
bolo tie.
but not like Zelensky. You can't play it like Zelensky.
Could you imagine? Like, I
But you
have a
can't
feeling
play
that Jerry Lee
the
Lewis would have
piano
done
like
very well at the
Zelensky.
P Diddy
That's
parties.
that's a sadness.
Well, there we go.
Yeah,
Let's get into some
I
serious.
think he would have been hanging out. He would have been he would have been a Disney frequent flyer. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yes. So let's get some serious stuff. And we have Mike Nova coming in today. So we are going to
All right,
discuss the ceasefire and some of
Nova.
the provisions
Hey,
that Russia
Chris,
wants.
what
Yes.
was the name of Charlton Heston's girlfriend in Planet of the Apes?
I forgot again.
Nova.
Nova. That's right. I keep forgetting it's Nova. We're talking about Novas. We have Mike Nova coming on. This is again. I am having
Two
a
days in
Joe
a row, I
Biden
got
moment.
you on that one.
Uh,
Oh man.
See, Joe Biden should have grown a goatee because that
Let's
could
go,
disguise a
Brandon. That's
lot of
right.
right. Because normally I'd be looking like Joe Biden right now, like, but with the goatee, people think that's why he wears the sunglasses, by the way, because people think he's cool with the sunglasses. You know,
Yeah, I
wow.
don't know about that. I don't know.
You
I
just
think it's the Adderall. I think he wears them because of the Adderall. That's
well,
me.
there was some kind of like millennial that drew some a comic book renditioning, like a superhero renditioning of Joe Biden with his aviator glasses on. And there was
Yeah.
another one. There's another one on Alexandria Ocasio Cortez dressed as like a superhero too. I'm thinking, wow, if these guys are your heroes, well,
Isn't there a song about that? Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be Democrats. Didn't
yeah.
Willie Nelson sing that?
What is their superpower to make the unemployment line go faster?
I
Look,
don't. I think. I don't think they want to do that. They like it. They want people to stay in line.
right.
That's what their job is.
So let's get to this immigration issue here, and I know we
let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
By the way, but people looking for Karyn, don't look no further. Karyn can't make it today.
All right,
So
Karyn
it's okay.
available today. So we'll be doing a Tony calling today.
Call the wild.
It's amazing. Okay, it's not amazing. Okay, it's predictable.
I had to do the prayer last night. At our county commission. Shout out to the Chihuahua County commissioners if you're all watching. I had to do the prayer last night for the start of the meeting.
Right. Oh, so, okay. Well, that sounds good. Nobody burned or anything like that. Nobody spontaneously combusted.
I was hoping, but it didn't happen. You can never tell. You can never tell. It's like out Satan. What's that? That's The Exorcist. I gotta get that down. What The Exorcist says.
Oh, wait a minute.
The Spirit of Christ compels you, right? Isn't that what he says?
Oh, that was the priest said that, but I believe the girl said your mother sews socks that smell.
I think that's what. Yeah.
That. At least that was in the Saturday Night Live version of The Exorcist with Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
that was a good sketch.
It was a good sketch. And by the way, we may be talking to other Saturday Night Live alumni. That's all I can say about it at this point.
We're working on that.
We're working on that. Yeah.
And apparently he's a good skateboarder too. But then anyway, let's get to immigration. It's not surprising to me that Democrats have favored felons, criminals, child molesters, rapists over regular citizens because that's their MO and that's what they've been doing for a long time. But it's getting to the point where the elected officials have been warning illegals about the ICE raids and things like that. And again, when ICE says it is prioritizing criminal illegals, they mean violent criminals at this point. So what the Democrats are doing, Democrat elected officials are, in fact, aiding and abetting violent criminals. That's what's going on here. And this includes this mayor of, was it Wilkinsburg or something like that? Pennsylvania. It even goes down to the rank and file liberals. Wilkinsburg, I believe it is. Check out this news package on this guy. And apparently, he must have won on the not Democrat ticket, but the Rastafarian Democrat ticket.
Wilkinsburg Mayor Dante Coleman's posted about it on his Facebook page.
Everyone here is, we're family. We're Wilkinsburg.
Didn't I see this guy selling watches in an overcoat down the corner of my street here?
And we just want to protect each other.
He models. No, he's a good model
everyone,
of
no matter what part of life you're from.
What do you say to people who say you shouldn't be here legally?
I mean, that's how this country started. You got to start. It's all about getting that path to being a resident.
That's an oversimplification of history. And the fact is, college professors are teaching it this way. High school social studies teachers, there's no history teachers left. They're teaching oversimplified history where people come out thinking they're smarter and saying, well, history is all about victims and oppressors, and the oppressors have to repent.
Yeah, I'm not going to repent. Just saying.
Right. It's a low mentality though, and it gets people thinking, well, we're smart because we're allowing these illegals in, and we came in here illegally. We explored the land and civilized it. I mean, let's put it that way. That's what happened. And well, let's keep going.
And I felt like we need to help them.
Wilkinsburg Mayor Dante Coleman's posted about it on.
There we go. That's what happened here. So, and you have now ICE agents that have to resort to wearing masks when they're out there because these slimy liberals are videotaping them and doxing them, causing people to threaten their homes, their families, and these people. Check out what's happening. Here's acting ICE Director Todd Lyons talked about this, and he wasn't afraid to say, "Hey, you people are making us do this."
I'm going to answer the mask question. So, no, not the mask, the mask. So, a lot of agencies were invited to come out 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles. We ran an operation where ICE officers were doxxed. So, let's just say that again. People are out there taking photos of the names, their faces, and posting them online with death threats to their family and themselves. So I'm sorry if people are offended by them wearing masks, but I'm not going to let my officers and agents go out there and put their lives on the line and their family on the line because people don't like what immigration enforcement is. They are wearing those masks because we ran an operation with the Secret Service where we arrested someone that was going online, taking their photos, posting their families, their kids' Instagram, their kids' Facebooks, and targeting them.
And that's what these leftists do. They are not only aiding and abetting criminals, but they are offering criminals and potential criminals the chance to, let's say, the chance to threaten, menace, harass, and probably even bodily harm families of ICE agents.
Yeah, this is serious, and I think this is something that no amount of explaining it away to say, "Oh, we're trying to help protect people." You're not trying to help protect squat. You let these people get here illegally, and then when someone decides, "Hey, it's dangerous. These people are killing people." Oh, well, we don't want to. We're everybody's accepted here, even criminals. Like, no, it's time for the nonsense to stop. I think the more, and I talk to Democrats on occasion, just saying, the Democrats are getting fed up with this. The real Democrats. There's a small percentage of, can I say Marxists? I think that I can say Marxists who are in charge of the Democrat Party right now. And by the way, Chris, they're expanding at the top. I mean, Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, Hakeem Jeffries, Spartacus.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all Marxists.
Now, don't forget Yasmin Croquet.
Yeah, man, oh man. By the way, did she, is the name Croquet named after her? I'm curious about that.
I'm sure her long bloodline, or maybe it was renamed after her because of the her let's say maybe she won the championship in her private school, her croquet championship. That tiddlywinks, and of course lady fingers making, baking, if you will.
I'm sure she's good with her fingers. Just saying.
I don't know with those nails. I'm not sure. Yeah,
let's move on. So what's next?
No, well, hold on. Well,
all right.
They talk tough. These people who aid and abet criminals talk tough. But here's what happens when when agents come and start to arrest them for.
I saw this at Sadler at Nadler. Nadler. Jerry Nadler.
Jerry Nadler. And this is Jerry Nadler's office, and some of his aides were, let's just say, allowing or kind of aiding some illegals. And again, we're going to say violent criminal illegals.
Let's just say it. Let's just say it. Right.
Now, so this person was being arrested and detained. But here's what happens after the tough talk and the tough, hey, bring them in. Yeah, bring these ICE people on.
No, she did not. That is not what happened.
That is not what happened. Okay.
What?
Did you hear this?
No, I'm going to give you time to speak to you.
Hey.
That's what I'm going to do.
I got you.
You're
okay.
She's crying. Please go, my boyfriend. Look, you just shouldn't be doing that. Just stop breaking the law. There are consequences to breaking the law, and she got a slap on the wrist anyway.
So you see, Norm Eisen. Speaking of breaking the law, see, this is what happens. They all talk tough about did you know, Chris? Nobody's above the law. And the moment they break the law, it's like, well, it's not our fault. We're acting to protect people. It's like, no, you're not. You're breaking the law. It's like that judge, Norm Eisen, had like 180 corrupt judges sign it. And by the way, did you notice Norm Eisen looks like, we talked about Liberace yesterday. It looks like Norm Eisen looks like Liberace had an affair with Eva Braun, and he's the product of that. So he's got that look and evil and just saying. But it's the moment they get held to their standard of no one's above the Larry is. See, if you put together, no, come on, ask the Patriots if you match Liberace and Eva Braun. Doesn't that's the logical outcome, right? Come on, look at that. I mean, geez. I mean, does he wax his face in the morning to get that sheen? I don't know how you do that. It's like that. It's like Eddie Munster meets a mannequin. I don't know, man. It's like,
Well, it gets a little worse with this whole Nadler thing because Jerry Nadler is like it totally grandstands. He actually, Jerry Nadler here lied about or the actual incident, said they forced their way in. No, she apparently shoved an officer, and that's what, again, you can't do these things. You
Nope.
can't you can't
Nope.
aid illegals. You can't shove an officer, and you can't act like you're above the law. And Jerry Nadler's talking about this. He's lying about the whole incident because he does. But you know what? Here's what I say to Jerry Nadler. Well, he's going, yeah, he shouldn't have done this, and then the ICE police forced their way in and everything. Well, you know what? I say, my friend, that is a myth.
Yeah.
Didn't he say Antifa was a myth? The riots, the protests are a myth. Antifa's a myth.
No, I think it's a myth that he has any credibility. I think that's a myth.
Yeah.
That's a myth. That's a myth.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, no, but we need to move on to some of the, I want to get some of those stories because I want to get to Greta Thunberg if we can get to that. I don't know if I want to throw that in there because
Okay.
she's sailing the 7 seas. She's looking for her white whale.
Again.
Yeah, no, she's going to Gaza. Did you hear?
Yes,
going
because
to
of
Gaza.
climate change.
Did you hear that? Chris, did you hear that climate change is hiding out in Gaza? It's a hostage. Did you know that Hamas took climate change as a hostage?
Apparently, it's that and the patriarchy, because she let that cat out of the bag a while ago. She was talking about the patriarchy, and that's where climate change.
Right.
So you have to stop climate change because of the patriarchy. So now you got to stop this, stop what's going on in Gaza because of the patriarchy and because of climate change. And I guess this other person, Liam Cunningham, who's in, I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. You know that?
You'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. Don't bother.
I don't really care. People talk about it like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Hey, it's no
so
Sharky.
It was great the first 4 seasons, and then it just went downhill. It's like Westworld. Westworld was superb. The first season, it was okay. Second season, third season, it tanked. It's like, you got to be kidding.
Well, at least she has
I digress.
Yep. And she's still, how old is she now? 19, 20 years old at this point?
She's old enough to know better. That's
30. Maybe she's 30. Who knows? And it's again, the left seems to get all their leadership from children or people who act like children. And that explains, that explains the Democrat.
Well, that's why I brought her up. So you've got this staffer, this Nadler staffer, crying because, I don't know why I did something wrong. Yeah, I want my boyfriend. And then you've got Greta Thunberg off doing things, trying to support a criminal enterprise, right? I mean, Hamas is a terrorist organization, right? Am I missing something?
Yeah, and if she hates the patriarchy so much, she should look up exactly how Islam works.
So that's my point. It's like you have these people saying and doing things that don't make any sense. I mean, what sense does it make for a Senate staff, a House staffer? Nadler's a member of the House, a big member with, some problems with his personal hygiene, but I digress. Let's not go down that path. So that's a staffer that works for him. And she decides, I'm going to break the law because, reasons. I want to keep criminals here. Here you have someone who is seen as an icon, right? I mean, Chris, she is an icon. She is like the Lady Gaga of climate change, right?
And think about this. Again, she is the perfect leader for the Marxists. Mentally challenged, unshowered, ill-informed, and annoying.
Yeah.
She has all four on the list.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Denise.
So, but I'm just saying that there's a pattern here, and it's very insane. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that we point out the insanity of these folks here. So I think it's very clear. There's no gray, right? I mean, this isn't even like halfway. It's like this is bright. This is a bright distinction of how these people operate. So anyway,
how dare you, Tony?
How dare me? That's right. So, by the way, Chris, is she going to, when she gets to Gaza, is she going to storm the beach? Is it going to be like the Omaha landing for her? She going to climb something? I'm going to scale the buildings of Gaza.
I think she's just going to stand there and speak, and that's what she is. She's going to say, Israel, how dare you shoot at these poor innocent terrorists? They just
You stole my childhood. You
You
stole my
stole my
childhood.
childhood. And let's put it this way: if you want to talk about stealing childhoods, she's actually defending a group of people who crossed the border and stole the childhoods of several children living on farms, teenagers, mind you, who were listening to a music festival. Okay?
Yeah.
You want to talk about stealing childhoods? That's what
Kids
Hamas
her
did.
age. Kids
Right.
her age.
Yeah. That's where they hide behind in Gaza. Maybe this will open her eyes to what's going on. I doubt it. Maybe this is what's going to
I
happen.
doubt it.
Right.
You know, the best thing that could happen to her is they could take her hostage. Maybe she'd find out firsthand. Just saying.
No, they're going to.
If you want to find out, go find out.
Yeah, but the exchange won't be so great because it'll be like Red Chief. She'll be so annoying. They'll be like, all right. We'll give her back, but just give us maybe I don't know, a couple of boxes of Big League Chew, and we'll call it even.
That would probably be a fair trade. Just saying. So, all right, good. So, what's next? I'm sorry I took you off pace there, but let's get back on.
Now we got a guest. We got our cool guest Mike Nova coming in, but I want to give you one more before
Hey,
we
Chris.
move
Chris.
Yes.
What was the girlfriend's name of Charleston Heston in the Planet of the Apes?
No, it's Nova. All right, I got this right. Okay, finally. Hey, when I have my water and coffee in the morning, I am actually lucid. All right, here we go.
Good.
All right.
Good. Very good.
All right. I was going to get to Yasmin Croquet, but I want to give you the biggest idiot on the planet. I don't know how some of these people get elected. Let's put it that way. Let me see. I'm going to find this. Hold on a second here.
I got elected.
Yeah, but you're not an idiot. I mean,
well, I don't know. I think people will disagree with you on that. I've got a lot of people think I'm an idiot.
I don't know. I don't know how some of these people get elected. Boston's Mayor Michelle Wu
we're involved
is probably the leader of all the idiots. I mean, she
is an idiot.
She's
a real idiot.
She makes Mayor Bass look like I don't know, Thomas Sowell. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
A little thumbing here, a little lag here, but we're gonna have let's play some Michelle Wu. She's been at the forefront of idiocy when it comes to the immigration issue for a long time. Pretty much that and every other issue.
Yeah.
We're involved in 4, about to be 5 different lawsuits with this federal administration, and people are paying higher prices right now.
What?
No, they're not.
Higher prices than what?
I just refilled my gas tank this morning. It was $2.56. It's come down 80 cents.
Right, ours is still high in New York, but it's 50 cents lower than it was. Yeah, 50 cents lower than it was. Eggs down, and that was after the artificial chicken murders.
That's right.
That's what after the chicken murders.
Let's hear more of the
and looking at even higher. People are terrified for their lives.
Oh, yeah. Less people will be when the criminal illegals are out of here.
Exactly.
And for their neighbors, folks getting snatched off the street by secret police who are
lie. Another lie.
Secret.
This is a perpetrated lie. This is actually every Democrat is saying snatched off the street. It's almost like it is like they're given marching orders as if they were a collective, parroting everything that was dictated to them.
wearing masks who can offer no justification for why certain people are being taken and then detained.
Well,
There's plenty of justification.
Yeah, and criminal records kind of count, lady.
Every aspect of what's happening at the federal level is causing harm in our local communities, and it is a job of city government to do whatever we can to first and foremost ensure everyone is safe. And
everyone is safe except for the actual residents of Boston.
Exactly.
Healthy, and then to provide opportunities. And so more and more, unfortunately, this is the reality of how we have to do our job, even as municipal government.
Honestly, it's all about orange man bad. Had Biden been doing this, had Obama been doing this, every one of these city mayors would comply.
Yeah, of course. By the way, quick note. Did you know that Steely Dan wrote a song about her dad, Dr. Wu?
I thought she was in the fiendish plot of Dr. Fu Manchu.
Well, she's in both. Both can be true. So
there's an obscure.
Are you with me, Dr. Wu? That's right. That's right.
That, my friend, was a very what was the word? That was the what am I thinking? That was an underrated Peter Sellers classic.
There's a number. We should have. By the way, we should do something. We have not done anything on media like movies and stuff lately. We really should go back and do something because there's a lot of Peter Sellers stuff. Being There is another way underrated Peter Sellers movie.
Yes.
The ending of that is, see, that's Chauncey is like most Democrats. They have no idea what they're doing, but somehow they get elected and they end up in office. That's a great metaphor for Nancy. What's her name? Nancy Wu, Dr. Wu.
Nope, it's Michelle Wu. She's the mayor of Boston.
Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We should woo her into some common sense.
Woo.
But that, my friend, is never going to happen because then she'll never win a primary. She'll be primary.
No.
If she starts making sense, she'll lose a primary. That's what's going to happen. David Hong will make sure of that. But we do have a guest now. We do have the great Mike Nova.
Hey, Mike, good morning.
Mr. Shaffer, Mr. Cordani.
Hey, I love
Mr. Mike.
What's that?
Mr. Mike.
I love your outfit.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. I knew I was coming on with the legends. I know how to dress right. Unlike my hometown president Zelenskyy.
Mike, I got a question for you. No, I don't know if you caught you probably didn't see the show, but one of the things we noticed, and I think you noticed it too, Lindsey Graham, Senator Graham was in Kiev. Did you see that? Do you think, I have a question for you. Yeah, he was over there right before the attack, just saying. Not that they're, but do you think that maybe Lindsey Graham would do better when he visits Kiev if he dressed like Liberace?
1,000%.
I think that would bring some, he could go like to the burlesques and stuff, sing cabaret. Life is a cabaret, my friend. I think it'd go well. What do you think,
1,000%.
I think that's a cue if ever I heard one. Let's pull this little bad boy up again.
Let's see that.
Oh, that's the wrong one. We got this one. No, it's this one here.
Woo.
Hold on. Which one?
Yep, it's right here.
Oh,
there he is.
That was Chat GTP. Okay, this is not a real photo. It's just something I created here.
I don't know. How do you know that's not real, Chris?
Well, I made it. I did that one.
He looks like President Zelensky's cocaine dealer.
well, that they could both be related. Just say it.
Yeah.
You could be Lindsey Graham and be a coke dealer, right, Chris? Why would there be a distinction?
Oh,
I don't
why
know.
Not actually. I mean,
why not?
He could have made millions. He probably would have made millions if he dealt, let's just say, within the White House inner circle the last 4 years.
Well, we still don't know who had the cocaine at the White House. Lindsey is still on that list.
Yeah. Maybe Hunter's on his speed dial. There we go.
That's right.
Hunter and Vladdy.
Oh. Oh man. Oh yeah.
No, Mike, what's up with you? How you doing? Tell us what you're up to,
brother. Mr. Tony, Mr. Chris. I just got back from Los Angeles and Malibu. I was in a show as an actor.
Excellent.
So if you see a show on Netflix called The Beehive, please watch it. Should be pretty funny. It's a sitcom about the trucking industry. A lot of crazy stories based on a lot of true stories. What's that? What'd you say, Tony?
Sounds cool. No, it sounds cool.
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you see The Beehive, I'm looking at the edit this morning. Yeah, The Beehive. It's about this lady that runs like a queen of a beehive. She runs this big trucking operation and just a lot of, based on true stories, crazy things that happen in the trucking industry, but we try to make it fun, make it, funny. And then, after that, I went to Malibu for a couple weeks, started writing a new album on the piano, really beautiful composition of music. So I'll be sending that over to you guys once it's released.
We'll promote it.
Yeah. If you like it, I think you will. And that's been fun. Really therapeutic, to be honest. And calming, just hearing the piano like that and playing it, so I've been up to that for a few weeks. Just got back from Malibu a few days ago, and here I am with you guys now. We're talking about Zelensky's cocaine dealer, which is great.
We're going to talk about that in a second, but before let's go back to the Beehive real quick.
Oh yeah.
So I understand there's going to be some big reveals. Is it true that Elizabeth Warren was actually a truck driver named Albert in a previous life, and you guys exposed this? Is that true?
That's actually the main premise of the show. That's what we lead into in season 7. Yeah.
All tattooed up an American Indian, Pocahontas.
Yes. Yes.
I couldn't hold that.
All right. See,
All right.
I'm such a troublemaker. So, folks,
I love it. I love it. You're my favorite.
There's no
one.
Elizabeth Warren in the series, but there should be.
Yeah,
that's an idea for season 7. You should use that.
Let's go. Let me write it down. Warren.
She did steal
right,
the.
That's right.
Pocahontas. Let's go.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Chris. I'm distracting everybody again, so keep going. Sorry.
No, it's great. I love it.
No, it's all good. But we brought you here because it seems like Volodymyr Zelenskyy is doing everything possible to thwart any kind of ceasefire agreement and possibly start World War III with the help of the Western Europeans, of course, like the tough guy, Keir Starmer, who has his people ready for war. Oh, yes, the tough guy.
Oh yeah, it really is feeling like that, man. With this recent drone strike, with all those bombers getting taken out, I don't think Vladimir Putin's a happy man these days. That's a lot of airplanes that are taken out, and with nuclear capability, right? Ones that that one's really gonna sting. I mean, they worked on that operation for about a year and a half or so, right? Leading into it, and pulled it off with that semi truck, right? That went into Russia and then launched all those drones, right? So, man, this.
By the way, Mike, did you know that the truck was they smuggled it in a truck of vodka? That's how they got it through them. They just don't check vodka.
Yes, vodka. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, Mr. Shaffer. Yeah, it does. Oh man.
No, well, Mike, back. So, but let's break that down a little bit. So, Zelenskyy keeps saying he wants peace, but then he goes and pokes the bear in the eyes. Like, okay, the next day after you do this massive attack, you're supposed to negotiate, and negotiations last for 2 hours. Were you surprised that the negotiations only lasted 2 hours on Monday?
No, I was not surprised. Man, I guess I can only really talk about the only thought I really have in my head in regards to what you're saying. And I was on the phone with somebody in Kiev yesterday. Is this woman that is a colleague in show business there, that she runs some of our Instagram accounts and stuff like that. But she's saying, you know what? If it wasn't for so many people that have already died on both sides, both on the Russian side and on the Ukrainian side, she says, then maybe they would have reasonable dialogue, diplomatic dialogue from both sides. And I think she had a valid point in that sense, where so there's so much pent up anger and so much pent up emotion that even dealing with the president of the United States, the most powerful country in the world, isn't feasible, because the anger and the strife and the emotion is running so high, and they're just so many people have died. They're like, all right, we got to get Crimea back. We got to get all these territories back, at any cost, no matter what. And let's go. Where's the cocaine? Let's party. Let's go.
Well, let me ask that question, because I guess the Kiev mayor said Zelensky's government reeks of authoritarianism. That the Kiev mayor said that, right, Chris?
Kitschko, the boxer's
Kitschko.
brother, right? Kitschko.
So, do you feel Kitschko's view of Zelenskyy?
100%. Klitschko, he has much more international experience with dealing with
Yeah.
the West because he's spent a lot more time in the West and spent a lot more time getting praised by the West due to his, due to his abilities,
Yeah.
with his boxing abilities. I mean, he's like, he's, he's an idol up there. He's
Yeah.
not a villain. He's an idol, kind of like Mike Tyson in a sense, and he has a point for sure. And, I think there's something I'll say right now that I've been talking over with a few friends, close friends, and just trying to understand this whole situation with how crazy this war is, especially in modern times. And I wish that I could just be funny. Maybe I can be, but um, so when my family came to the United States in 1992, my dad was fresh out of the Siberian army. He did his 2 years mandatory, and he said, about 30 years ago now, he said, there's going to be a war here. That was 30 years ago. And we were right on the border of Ukraine
Yeah.
and Russia, living in Russia, actually. And he said, there's going to be a war here. If there's any way we can come to the United States, then we'll do it. And so, he applied, and luckily, we got a lottery, basically lottery, uh, position to come to the United States based
Right.
on the religious persecution that stems through my family history. I had a great grandfather die from religious persecution in a Soviet prison, and so speaking of that, so the Soviet mentality of the Soviet Union, it rides on the tail of, like these mass genocides from Lenin and Stalin and all this stuff. And when I think about that, it's, when I think about it objectively, I'm like, man, this is uh just, I want to swear almost, but this is a traumatized set of thoughts, and
Yeah.
thought leadership from Zelensky. I mean, Putin is so much more diplomatic, you know what I mean? So you can't really see like what he's really up to, like
Yeah.
if he's really what he's dealing with, he's just so clever and charming in that sense,
Yeah.
um and Zelensky's like this, basically, I don't know, it just seems like, I mean, I guess I do know from what I understand, but on the tails of Soviet Union genocide, we're still dealing with the repercussions of this kind of war still ongoing over there, and
Well,
it's the craziest war we've probably ever seen because we have social media now.
right.
You
Well,
know,
we saw this in the Balkans in the 90s. Remember the Balkanization and all that? That's where that term
Well,
came from, obviously.
well,
Mike, I got to ask you a question. So
yeah.
I don't want you to give up any religious secrets, but was your family vampires? Is that why you were prosecuted? Just asking. You don't have to tell us if
wrong country,
that's,
I think, right?
Oh, wrong
100.
country.
I mean,
I think they're the Romanians.
Oh, I'm sorry. Transylvania.
You
I
racist.
get it all mixed up. It's all these Vanias. I don't know.
I do have a question though, and I want to get into this because a lot of this I still believe is Volodymyr Zelensky's ego. And again, this might be a showbiz thing, Mike, but you're talking about a guy who's trying to save face, who knows he was going to lose an election and canceled the elections, claiming wartime presidency, all of that, and knows that if and when he loses, no, when the war is over, by the way, no matter who wins or loses, he is going to be voted out. He's not going to be seen as a hero. He's going to be seen as a guy who sacrificed Ukrainian lives for his ego.
mm,
And this includes seeking more aid, more financial aid for him, or whatever. Again, you're talking about the shopping sprees and everything else. Again, we saw that $102 billion that's missing. I don't even know where that is between Biden and Biden administration and Zelensky's administration. Who's telling the truth there? But the fact is, this man is going to be voted out next election, no matter what happens. And I think he's keeping the war so he can keep power and keep his perks.
Man, Chris, Tony, I mean, there's there's definitely an ego complex to the artistry that we see across show business in different countries. We see artists act like crazy, they can have crazy behaviors. Like Kanye West, for instance, right? Or, Bieber like has melts down. What's that?
P. Diddy.
Oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh!
Poof,
Oh, that's
Poof Daddy or
insane.
whatever his
P
name is,
Diddy.
right?
Oh Lord, no, no. Yeah, oh man, we lost a lot of baby oil on that one. But
So no, Mike, did you see
Baby oil.
Lady Gaga was whining about being pressured into participating. Did you see that video of her?
no.
No, Lady Gaga said that she was threatened. That basically, when they invited her to her party, she said, "I don't feel comfortable." And they said, "F you. If you don't go, we're going to ruin you, and we're going to destroy your music." So that's pretty crazy, and I think it's true. I don't know Lady Gaga. I'd like to meet her someday. I don't think she's totally crazy.
I like Radio Gaga. Radio Gaga.
Radio Gaga.
Song.
That's right.
But
no, I'm serious. I mean, she was threatened to go.
I have a request from one of the Patriots.
What is it?
Well, Trixie, because she must have loved the Liberace or the let's say Lynn Baracci photo, wanted to see Zelenskyy in a muumuu. So let's see what we can pull off here. All right, let's see.
Yeah, all right.
There we go. So here is Zelenskyy in a muumuu, thanks to ChatGPT. So Trixie, thank you very much for the inspiration.
Trixie, that's brilliant.
The combination.
Yeah. I think that looks better than olive drab. That gives him kind of a springtime. No, Mike, doesn't that give him a springtime for Hitler look? I think it's a great look. Right?
Yeah,
isn't that a song? Springtime for Hitler in Germany? That definitely gives him that springtime Nazi vibe. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
Springtime for Hitler.
Well, the thing is, here's the other thing. In that olive drab that Zelenskyy wears, it looks like the guy. Remember that Seinfeld episode with a communist? That's Zelensky's chosen normal outfit right there.
Yeah.
The Seinfeld communist guy.
Jeez. Oh my gosh, that is scary.
What? But back to the celebrities. I agree with you, Mike. I think there's a lot of folks who get out there. You're informed. Our Patriots know you're informed. We try to inform them. But a lot of folks just go off like Greta Thunberg. She's kind of a celebrity. She's like a celebrity brat. She's kind of like that celebrity that's always in the backstage, like a groupie who always wants to get in and like hang out with the cool kids. But she always smells like 3-day-old potted meat. I'm just saying. I don't know this. But my point being is that you have these wacky people like her who are more than happy to do things to undermine their own cause by being essentially brats. So do you think most celebrities...
Is she brat like Kamala?
Well, I'm using it brat in the old sense, not the Kamala Harris brat. So I'm just asking, Mike, do you think these people actually have any idea of how badly they compromise their own position by doing the stupid stuff?
No, I don't think they have any idea at all. The ego complex is so high on some of these guys. And, it seems to me like some of these celebrities that have this massive fame and found some niche somewhere, maybe they lucked out at the rise of, social media activity.
How dare me?
How dare you, Tony? Tony, how dare you? How dare you talk about me like this? How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? I'm only mentally challenged, unshowered, and annoying. How dare you? I hold the trifecta. Tony, I hold the trifecta. I'm mentally challenged, annoying, and unshowered. There's nothing wrong with this, Tony. I hold the trifecta of egomania. Okay, Tony? Folks, believe me. I'm totally fine. I'm doing a great thing for the world. I don't smell bad, even though flies are dropping around me. They're dropping around me, flies. They're dying everywhere.
Her hair is so greasy when the rain drops on her head, it just slides right off and stays dry.
How dare you, Tony? How dare you?
No, it's true.
Greta duck.
So what? So I got another political question for you. So apparently, the new leader of Poland is a conservative. Now, I would argue conservatism in Europe is different than here. I mean, and you know this. You've been in both cultures, so conservatives there mean they're just a little bit right of Stalin, right? I mean, they're kind of like still left, but not as right. Am I? But I mean, so this new Poland guy, what's his name, Chris? The new Polish guy.
Oh, Carol. I'll get that name again. I'll get the name.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you make of the Polish folks electing someone who's not on board with the EU, just doubling and tripling down on Ukraine necessarily? So, and oh, by the way, they're against illegal immigration.
It's Carol Nowacki.
Carol Nowacki. I guess, is he related to Carol O'Connor? No, I guess not. But
according to the left, he probably is. But that's another story for another day.
Anyway, so what do you make of Poland going like not as left and more right? What do you think about that?
Mr. Shaffer, I think this type of thought and this type of question, it kind of points me to make the comparison with the mentality in the United States of how people have formed their mentalities here in a capitalistic, non-communistic society. And then what happens in that part of the world, with just even within the European Union, Poland being in it, of course, as we're talking about here. Mr. Shaffer, there's something that Elon Musk said that stood out to me. And he said it a few years ago in an interview. And he said, after World War II, America went into all of these countries in Europe and helped various countries rebuild, which is
called the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan, absolutely. Right.
Yeah. And which, looking through history and through the history of different types of wars with different empires, we're talking really any war, Roman wars, Persian wars, whatever. There is this leaning in mentality. I think I'm really kind of processing these thoughts and trying to understand the Europeans and the Slavics more. But the way that they lean, like you said, there are these Stalin-esque roots to how the leader,
my point is like they were kind of left.
Almost like this infatuation with war, and like this romanticism with war, And so when it comes to where they're at left or right, it is still, mentalities that are on the bedrock of communism, and when we compare it with the United States, like Elon said, he said, this is actually really unprecedented that after a war, a country would go in and start helping rebuild and do all this. Usually they would just go and just start taking over more of the world, like go full Hitler mode, Yeah. You know what I mean? But anyway, I hope I answered your question
on that point.
In a way that was interesting.
Mike, I got to stop you then. So do you think it was a mistake for us to give France back to the French?
To give what back to the French?
France, since we took over France, by the way. You might remember World War II.
Oh, no.
A mistake.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Look at Paris now. I got to tell you something. We look, okay, I understand we wouldn't have to spend a lot on water bills or shower bills or anything like that if we kept France.
I don't know. What Mike's saying may be irrelevant. Maybe we made a mistake giving it back.
Could you imagine if we kept France? But if we kept France, France becomes a territory. All the French become American citizens, and they'll come to America and annoy the crap out of all of us every day by living next to us.
That's
we
true.
Don't want that.
That's good. That's right. Here in the North American continent, we only have Quebec annoying us, right?
Right. And at least they bring us hockey. France's hockey start. You know what is the
Right.
French you know what France's contribution to America is? Frederick Weiss. And if anybody knows who that is, he's the crap center that wouldn't even play for the New York Knicks, and he stank anyway when he played in the first place anywhere. So, but you gentlemen bring up a good point. The Polish election has resulted in Germany once again resurrecting this idea to get rid of the AfD party because they simply do not, because they're against willy-nilly mass immigration. Apparently, this the leader of the Socialist Party, this what's her name, Stephanie Hubig, who bears a striking resemblance, by the way, to Frau from
yeah.
We're on the same wavelength there.
Dr. Evil's wife. Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
She is their Socialist Party leader, if you will. And that's pretty far left for them. And they're exploring this ban because they don't want people getting in a I think we have some lag.
We do have a little lag. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lost you there for a second, but
right. But the idea is you have the Polish. Look, these nations are afraid of the people striking back at the globalists. That's what the Polish election is a positive. It's against the globalists.
Yeah.
Romania, they threw Gorgescu in jail. France, they disqualified Marine Le Pen. They and now Germany is trying to disqualify the AfD party simply because it spoke up about immigration. A Spanish political communications director was penalized for speaking out against immigration policies in Europe.
Yeah,
right. They're trying to silence opposition.
Yeah,
man, I feel like I'm going to be the one next slapped by Bridget Macron after this show.
Yeah, you know what? Wear a mouth guard. I hear she's pretty tough.
I think we have to wear mouth guards if we're in Europe from now on.
I was going to bring that up. So Mike, seriously, we were making fun of Lindsey Liberace Graham yesterday. I don't care. But I mean, look, here on the show, we really don't care who you sleep with. We don't. I could care less. With that said, as Austin Powers once said, that's a man, baby. Right, Chris?
Well, let's take it from this soccer player here. Did you see this video?
Yeah, the soccer player.
Around.
Look at that. It's like,
yep,
what
handshake.
the hell?
Here, watch this.
Yeah. Look at those eyes.
Some handshake there or something like that. He was looking.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh.
Is that all of it? That's a good clip. Play the rest. There she is. There he is.
What the? He's like, don't look there, guy.
Oh
man. It's like, really? We got to shake that?
I don't know what's worse, that or the Macron cocaine bag.
Yeah,
man. If you're gonna pair up like that and get a marriage like that, well, at least do it like Obama and marry a man that's your same age. You know, like, what the
exactly. Exactly. That's a great point, Mike.
Hey-o, I guess a hey-o right there.
Well, no, but the thing is, though, Mike, I think this is, did you see there's pictures of Macron back in the 80s and 90s when he was like all dressed up like a goth guy? I think he was groomed. I think he was groomed by Ben. What's her name?
Oh, wow.
Bridget,
Ben.
Yeah. His wife.
Bill, Ben.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bobby.
Mike.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, it groomed. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be the most interesting. Yes.
Mike, I got to ask you a question. So, what happens at like a dinner where Macron and Brigitte or Bill meet with Barack and Mike? What happens? What do they do?
I think they swing.
Is it like a P? Is it like a Diddy party? Yeah. Like a mini Diddy party?
Diddy party for sure, 1,000%. They definitely are swinging, 100%. And then when Zelensky shows up, they're just you know how it is. That it gets even more exciting.
I think they made a movie about that, right? It's called Sausage Party, right? Didn't they?
Ow!
Oh my gosh!
I could swear I saw the movie. Maybe it was something else.
Gosh.
It all blurs together.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. all bats and no balls. Well, that could be.
Did you guys see the video with Macron and then a couple other European leaders? What looked like they were hiding cocaine.
Cocaine bag.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Oh man, this is crazy. I went into such a crazy time. It didn't.
Mike, Tony, we're approaching the end, and I want to say about the Ukraine war and everything else, what's going on in Europe. Never fear, because Keir Starmer is tough.
008, the most boring man in politics.
That's right, but he's making sure that his military is, military fight ready for the Ukraine-Russian war.
Today, following through on this review, I want to set out 3 fundamental changes that we're going to deliver.
Sure.
First, we are moving to warfighting readiness.
No, they're not.
As the central purpose of our armed forces.
They're not.
When we are being directly threatened by states with advanced military forces.
Okay, fear, tremble, tremble. This is what I see.
Here we go. There they are preparing.
I've got your number that you couldn't afford me.
Jesus.
I'll scratch your eyes out.
God.
Don't come to Brigadier bitch with us, dear. We all know where you've been, you military fairy.
Oh Lord.
So, Mike, that's the famous British Army Ballerina Brigade, and they will deploy and scratch your eyes out. There you go.
Tony, I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid.
How prophetic was Monty Python decades
later?
My God.
Yeah, they nailed this decades ago. So, spoiler alert, the British aren't going to wartime footing. They have the money. Just saying. They are broke. So, yeah.
Here's Army.
Oh, my God, these people.
That's probably what Putin's thinking. Yeah, you and what army, Kier? That one?
Yeah.
And of course, the French. Let's just not leave the French around. I mean, they're obvious. Their main their best combat move is this.
Oh man. Well, folks, it's been great. It's been such a great show with you
Mike,
guys today.
Mike, tell us again. Tell us again about your beehive. You're not worried. You know that the beehive. You don't wear a beehive, do you? No. It's about a beehive. No. It's about truckers in a beehive. Tell us again about it. I forgot.
So if it does make it to Netflix or a streaming platform, Amazon, Hulu, HBO, it's called The Beehive. It's about the trucking industry and just insane stories about things like a lot lizard. Are you familiar with a lot lizard?
Yeah,
Tony?
it's Jasmine. Isn't it
Chris?
Jasmine?
Jasmine the lot lizard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to keep it PG for the kids, I'll let the parents handle what that means. A lot lizard, but yeah, maybe you might be able to get one in a pet shop. I don't know.
No, Mike. It's like the gecko, only X-rated, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yes. So
you mean Yasmin, the lounge lizard here? She's more like the lounge gorgon, if you will. But that's another story.
Yeah. She's like, like a
not bad for a lot lizard.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, so we the Patriots love you. We love you, Mike. We always enjoy our conversation. So, come back and see us again sometime soon, right, Chris? We're going to have him back.
Of course. Oh, definitely. And by the way, as things keep either heating up or cooling down here with Ukraine and Russia, we got to keep you on here, Mike. So we'll do that.
Tony.
Yeah.
Chris,
by the way, could you sing a special rendition of "Big in Japan" for us sometime? Just sing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For your friend Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So
Very big in Japan. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll absolutely get a singing show in there for us all. Yeah, it'll be very entertaining.
Oh, that's a good
All right. Well, again, we really appreciate being on, Mike. Good luck with everything. Chris,
I love you guys so much, Tony, Chris. You guys are the best.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you soon. And then, Chris, I guess we're back again tomorrow, aren't we?
Yep, tomorrow. And so far, we have AJ Rice with us. We're going to have a lot of fun with him.
AJ?
So, yep, AJ Rice will be here. We're going to have fun, and we're going to talk about stuff. A lot of things that are happening.
And follow Mike's advice. Don't get into any lots with lizards.
And don't forget.
Yes. Yeah.
And don't
stay
forget
away from the lot lizards, please. I beg you.
And don't forget
have a traditional marriage and a happy life, please. I beg you.
And don't forget Mike's Spotify page here, and check them out all over the place. All right.
I love you guys, Tony, Chris. You guys are amazing. God bless you and your loved ones.
God bless you. And I guess that's it, Patriots. I guess we'll see you tomorrow morning, right?
Yes. Ooga.
Ooga.